Hey guys, I think we're live. Hey everyone, just checking if my voice, if I'm audible, if I look clear before I just kick this off. So, hey everyone, this is your drum rolls favorite Binance Smart Chain host Simran in the house. For those who don't know me, I look after PR and communications at BSC and host these kind of events whenever I can. Today we are working on something really special. It's called the 1 billion Binance Smart Chain Growth Fund. It's where we invest in startups and blockchain and crypto projects. I have a very important person with us today, Gwendolyn Regina, who's basically the investment director at BSC's Accelerator Fund. She invests in startups and she's been leading and doing a great job at it because there are so many more companies that we've invested in ever since Gwen has joined us. And it's lovely to have her on the team, and today she's here with us. Just adding you to stream, Gwen. Hey.
Hi, Zimran. Hi, everyone. Good
Hi, Gwen.
morning,
How
good
are you
afternoon, and
doing?
good evening. I don't know where you are, but hey, global team.
So when I think that these AMS are the only time when we actually have a one-on-one, because it's been so busy all the time. You're always investing in companies, and it's just like so much fun to know about them.
Exactly. Yeah, Simran is like, it's one of those few times that we block, right, an hour and we get to talk to each other as well. Yeah, it's great. But I really, really love these opportunities to kind of really have the audience kind of ask questions and all and to really kind of engage as well. So I love that. I'm looking forward.
Definitely. So, guys, the agenda is very straight up today. Gwen is going to present couple of things about the 1 billion fund that we have. She's going to talk about how y'all can apply, how y'all can leverage it as entrepreneurs and startup founders working in the blockchain and crypto space. I'll be back in a bit after Gwen is done presenting. So, I'm going to ask a couple of questions that we collected previously. So, Gwen, over to you. Just take over the stage.
Great. Okay, so everyone, I'm just gonna shift. You can see my screen. Great. So just very quickly again on this particular slide, for those of you who are fairly new to us, hopefully not, but hopefully also we get newcomers all the time because the BSC community is growing just really rapidly. Again, you've seen our all-time high, so really congrats to all of us for really pushing BSC growth, pushing your dApps, all the good stuff you're building. So the 1 billion growth fund, we announced it about a month ago or so. The time flies super fast, but it's really divided into a few buckets, right? So we want to onboard the next 1 billion users for crypto mass adoption. And what does crypto mass adoption really mean? Crypto mass adoption means, again, like us, you and I in the crypto space, but also our parents, also our cousins, and also our friends who are not so much into technology and who are asking you to explain, like, what is Bitcoin, right? What is BSC? So these are people we really want to get on board because you and I, we believe in the innovation that this space brings, right? Really to get us there to cross the chasm, using the term from technology world. We really need to make sure that we are encouraging, engaging with several different players and people in the ecosystem, right? So all of us, your builders, your entrepreneurs, your marketeers, community managers, we need to encourage this talent even more. So the first bucket that we have here under the 1 billion growth fund is the talent development bucket. So 100 million has been developed for that. I'll go to the website shortly to kind of show you a little bit around, okay? And another 100 million for liquidity incentives, because that's super important to provide sustainable liquidity, focus on DeFi, some GameFi, market makers. 300 million is for builders incubation, where we target and work with developers and builders, so hackathons and stuff like that, where we really want to encourage the top depths. We really want to encourage you to build and scale, because building is one thing, getting it started is just sure sounds easy, but to really scale, to really get your depth to the thousands, the hundreds of thousands and millions of people, hopefully, fingers crossed, right? You really need to think thoughtfully strategize, thoughtfully plan, thoughtfully execute on your product project, so you can really get to that, many users, and help us get to the next 1 billion users. So the last bit is investments. So this includes direct investments where we have 500 million built for it. So over the last now year plus ish, really, now we've done almost 50. So if you recall, those of you who were here last time, we had 40 over. So as Simran kind of said, I've been super busy, just looking at projects, looking at entrepreneurs, meeting all of you, and listening to what you're building, and we've been investing way more as well to really accelerate your growth. So we've done about almost 50 investments over the last year plus, whatever, 14 months or something like that. And also this, we announced a kind of core investment kind of perspective, because we really want to work with industry leaders, companies with real life use cases to really accelerate. So at this point, I'll go back to the website, because we recently relaunched the website, so I'm really excited about it, and I want all of you to kind of look at it. So okay, this is our fancy new website. Okay, so binance.org/en/1b hyphen growth hyphen fund. So if you look at it, you can see what's our mission. So again, we're really here to accelerate blockchain growth, right? We really want to bring the next 1 billion users and more later on over the next several years. Let's bring more and more percentage of our population on board. And really, again, it's really to encourage and build a robust ecosystem for cross-chain, multi-chain world that really empowers and really uses Web3 to really change the way we live, work, play, everything, right? So again, these 4 kind of sections. So this is a very quick overview again, because I know that you have questions. I think I see questions coming in, and so Simran, maybe I'll pass it back to you. We can figure out how to navigate this a little bit more. I know you have questions, right? Hello, Simran.
Hey Gwen, sorry, it takes a minute to add myself back.
Hi.
Hi, I was just adding the link that you just said.
Mm.
So yeah, do you want to do the question and answers and let
Yeah.
people figure out how to find it?
Yes. So I mean, like,
Okay,
if
okay,
got
okay,
if,
okay,
if
that sounds
there
good.
are
That sounds
questions
good.
ready, right? Yeah, please feel free. I'm all yours.
All right. So I have, accumulated a couple of questions and, joined in the parts. So it actually becomes a sentence, because most of the questions that we get are not really sentences. They're
Hey.
questions in terms of 2, 3 words here and there. It's all jumbled usually. So I'm just like, how to fix the jumbled words. But
It's
yes,
basically
yes.
it's like internet lingo, right? You're like you instead of you, you're like you, right? And stuff like that, right? So okay, you're making them more proper English, I think. Okay, got
Yes.
it.
And sometimes I think I am too old to even understand crypto slangs right now.
You
So
are
yeah.
too old. I'm too old. Okay, but okay, you are
Oh,
medium
come on.
young.
You're the youngest investment director in this space. You can't just say that. Come on.
Okay, don't talk about age. Okay, Simran. Okay,
Okay,
questions.
okay. Yeah. Questions. So, first question is, how is the 1 billion fund divided? What are the
Hmm.
broader investment categories?
Okay, great. Yeah, so divided divided into 2 ways, right? So there's 2 different kinds of division. So we just talked about the different kinds of people again, right? So if you look at the builder side, again, builders, developers, innovators, entrepreneurs. These are typically people who have already built something. So you've done some work, you've gotten some traction, maybe good traction even, live on mainnet perhaps, right? And this is where kind of this builder incubation program is for you. This is also where the most valuable most valuable builder program is part of it. So I'm just going to quickly jump here. So this is really to help support BSC startups, really grow, become more stable, sustainable, and really become valuable parts of the ecosystem. So there's everything from there's incubation, there's grants and stuff like that. This is one aspect. Okay, I don't want to go deeper and answer your question. I know, Simran, right? But just want to just quickly highlight MVB first. So going back there, again with different people here. So talent is more early stage, if I want to put it that way. So the way we look at it is that to have builders and entrepreneurs building dApps across on any chain and on BSC, we first need people who are educated about crypto and space and the space, right? So talent development here is really we're working again with universities, colleges, higher institutions to do research and development projects to kind of invest in talent. Essentially, we want to find smart people, people who are very interested in building on Web3, learning about Web3 to help them accelerate their learning of the space. Liquidity, again, is more project driven, DeFi, MMs, as well as GameFi projects. And this investment program is targeted at singular projects and developers, and as well as big institutions. So the way you look at it is that these are targeting different kinds of people. The other part of the question, right, Simon, you asked was the kind of categories of focus. So categories of focus, a few things. One is DeFi for sure. Now we've seen the scene evolve from kind of like everyone, experimenting together with DeFi, quote unquote 1.0, right? So now it's really kind of 2.0, where we see more of these projects trying to solve, some problems that we see emerge from the 1.0 days, right? So liquidity is one thing, right? So we see these projects kind of targeting some of these like missing gaps, if you will, in a DeFi space. When you look at it, when you zoom out in technology innovation, technology always moves and pivots, right? You using a term from the science world, right? You build on shoulders of giants, right? So the first our first DeFi innovators, they've built a lot of good projects, innovative projects for us to explore, to stake, farm, whatever you have it, to engage with the system. But now we're looking again at the next wave of people kind of rethinking the paradigm. So this is what we're really looking for. We've got DeFi 1.0 already. We've got all the classic, TradFi kind of ported over into DeFi. But at the next time now is that now what we're really looking at and looking for are people going for first principles, right? Again, using scientific language, physics language, right? Thinking on first principles, thinking really at the core, what does blockchain enable? And this is what we mean by DeFi 2.0. So that's kind of one aspect of it. And we still really believe in something we call Metaphy, right? So a mix of DeFi as changing the financial infrastructures of the world, but also linking with SocialFi and GameFi. So Metaphy is one big thing where we are really putting down a lot of our efforts into, our resources into, where we really want to enable this duality of life, right? We all have our physical lives. We hang out physically with our friends. Well, maybe in COVID, not really, but hopefully you are as well. So that's a physical life aspect of this. We've always had a parallel life online, right? We've had all classic social media, right? Facebook, Twitter, what have you, TikTok. So again, now in a Web3 world, we have all the metaverses. And this is where we really believe that the duality, meaning that you will maintain, again, your physical life. You can't get away from it. And I would personally encourage everyone to have a physical life. Please do not spend your entire life and like 24 hours, on online. I would say that's not healthy. You need physical interaction with people, okay, real life physical interaction. But when and if you do spend your time online, right, you will amass again all your different assets, right? You spend your time, your resources, again from using like kind of NFTs, stuff like that. Like now you can literally play to earn. That's phenomenal when you think about how financially the infrastructures are just reshaped completely. You don't need your parents' permission to basically earn money at this point, or how to spend it using just your own wallet, for example, right? So these are some as examples of the categories that we're focusing on. But really also we like we also like, again, the real life use cases, right? So we are talking to kind of traditional Web2 industry leaders to figure out how can we help them accelerate their growth, their transition, to the Web3 world. And we're discussing kind of larger partnerships, deeper, more strategic partnerships, and you will be seeing some of them relatively soon. So watch out for those announcements. What else? Well, yeah. So and I guess these are some common core, right? But really, we're looking for innovation. So if you're building anything that links like real world assets, for example, we're interested in that, right? Algorithmically, like stable coins or something. We are very interested in, again, projects that really relook at how Web3 can really change that paradigm. So we are looking for innovation, quote unquote. I know it's quite hard to define innovation, but really that's where we want to look at. Okay, Simran, was a very long answer. I'm sorry.
Not at all, Gwen. I think this is so interesting the way you were talking about having two lives. Everything, it just makes sense. And I think it's pretty interesting, especially for
You
me.
all have two lives. We have all have two lives, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So the second question is, how many crypto projects do you intend on investing in? I know we've
Um,
invested in a couple under the 100 million fund, but
mm,
how many exactly are you planning to under 1 billion? And how many have you?
yeah. So under the original 100 million fund that was launched in September 2020, so last year, we did 40 plus, and then over the last few months we did another roughly 10 more, roughly. So we're about 50 right now. And moving forward, we are looking for a few hundred more. So we kind of have a rough gauge about roughly 500 plus debt slash startups that we're looking for.
That means there's plenty of space for everyone to, take the piece of their cake.
Yes, plenty, 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 right? So in terms of investments focus, we are very fairly flexible. So we do a mix of equity tokens. We want to see basically it's not about equity tokens or whatever. We just want to see a project. We want to see good sustainable tokenomics. We want to see a good product. We want to see a good team. We want to see thoughtfulness in your strategy and execution. And you know what? We have the goal of 500 plus startups, but again, the BSC ecosystem now is 1,000 plus, right? And so basically, we are aiming for 50% increase. Um, and again, more, right? Because again, this space evolves so fast. We are also kind of thinking about maybe we can double down, and increase investment, the few projects, for example. And so it's super exciting.
Interesting. The third question is, what are the ways to receive support under the 1 billion growth fund? So
Okay.
I do understand MVP is one of the ways, and it's been going
Yes.
really well. You guys did 3 seasons, and that was pretty cool because a lot of projects that won MVP also got listed on Binance.com. So what are the ways people can get into this more apart from MVP and other things that are there?
Right. Okay. Yeah. So MVP first, you can apply very simply. It's just here. Maybe we can put the link into the chat. Yeah. So you can apply for an MVB. MVB is very exciting because there's a full incubation program, as Simran kind of briefly kind of mentioned. Um, we really look at trying to support the projects. Right. Another way is actually to apply directly to the fund. So oh no. Okay. Yeah, here you go. So yeah, so this is our fund website web form. So if you fill this in, Simran, do you have the website that you can just put it into the chat? So
Yep,
it's
yep.
bit.ly/BSC in caps and then fun app all in small. So you can put it in. So please, we want to kind of hear, your executive summary, your pitch, whether you build on BSC, whether you're going to build soon, launch a product and stuff like that. So this is where you can get to us, the investment team, right? We want to hear from you. We do look at every application. There is a lot though, so we cannot respond to all. I apologize in advance for that, but we really want to hear from you. Okay, so do your best to send us all the information, and I'm looking forward to your pitch. Right. So one key thing I want to emphasize is please do emphasize this. What is your unique and fair advantage? Okay, I think that's very very important. So yeah, so other ways of engaging with the Grow Fund to get support is that you will see us again. We've been supporting and sponsoring many hackathons, right? We're putting up bounties to really again engage the developer crowd to work with the builders out there. So that's another way where we can engage in. Yeah, so far these are the three key ways. So again, MVB, sign up with the form, and as well as be present at some of the hackathons. We sponsored like Gitcoin, for example, the Chainlink hackathon as well, and several more, right? So these are stuff that we want to do more of.
Great. So one of the questions that someone's asked, even in the comment section, and which was also one of my next questions,
Okay.
is basically the same. That what are the criterias that all these companies have to tick mark to for them to get an investment under the BSC 1 billion fund. So what are the criterias that you guys go by basically for any
Mm,
sort of crypto or blockchain startup?
Okay. Yeah, I love that question. Maybe at this point I can just let me just bring something else up, right? Because I think that's a very important question. Um, because I want to talk about the questions that I actually ask people to think about, which I do not have here right now. Okay. But yeah, so in terms of the kind of criteria that we look at, let me talk, come and talk it through maybe, right? So the kind of criteria that we look at is we really want to look at several things. One, team is very, very important. We want to see what you've done. Even if you're new, it's fine, right? We want to see thoughtfulness. We want to see vision and strategy. So it's how will you win? We want to understand why your team, and how you will win. We want to understand your product, how innovative it is, how does it really move and change, something. How is it going to solve a problem? How is it going to bring something, enables someone to do something that they couldn't do before, for example, right? Or maybe you're doing allowing someone to do the same thing but maybe in a better way, more efficient way, cheaper way, maybe. Whatever it is, we want to hear how unique your product is. We are also looking for, going back to team, not just vision and strategy, but also how thoughtful you build out your team. Because to build a successful project at a startup, it's not just about, just coding, for example, or not just about marketing, right? You need both.
Yeah,
You
definitely.
need, you really need a mix of people and talent and complementary skill sets to bring something from zero to one. And we really want to see that you understand that it's not just okay, let me just tweet something, and it'll be fine, right? No, you do need a concerted effort to be again more thoughtful, really, and plan more strategically how you will get your word out to the market, get your users, to using your product. We also want to see traction. So if you're already live, could be testnet, mainnet, we want to see your growth rates. So the ideal is that you are growing month for month. Is that it's a dip in growth, that's a red flag. Maybe the dip in growth is for some reason, but it's a consistent dip in growth month for month, then it's not good. Because especially for new projects, your month to month growth should be really high. Okay. Um, what else? So we want to we want to see a demo if possible, screenshots, um, mock-ups of what your product is. If let's say you're not launched, right? If you're live, obviously we do test out your dApps. We do play around on your website to kind of understand kind of what you're trying to do. So we do like to see aspects of everything that you've tried to again try to build, and like the quote unquote logic behind what you're doing, right? So we also want to understand ultimately the business model, the tokenomics, how sustainable it is, how are you, shifting value, how are you accruing value, who will stand to benefit, how will you do governance, for example, right? How do you really engage the community, right? And you do that through tokenomics, you do that through community management. So in a Web3 world, it's really a mix of everything. We really want to see a holistic picture of your vision, what you're currently doing, what you plan to do, because again, it's a progress bar, so to speak. You have a plan. You haven't gotten to your ideal plan yet, but you are building towards that plan. So we want to see, not say evidence of that, but some little proof that you have um, what it takes to build towards that big vision. And that mistakes are fine. We welcome mistakes. We welcome like crappy first drafts. We welcome like crappy demos, right? In fact, we want that. We don't need you to be too perfect. We want you to keep trying and trying and trying and just keep pivoting and iterating, because that's core in building a successful debt and startup.
That sounds like a lot of things that startup needs to have, but but again, it's under the BSc fund. You're gonna get all the support you'll ever need. So I think that does definitely make sense.
Yeah, there's a lot, but hey, you know what? You're trying to build the next big thing, right? So
Yeah,
so
yeah, right.
and there's really frankly a lot of competition. There's really many other smart people and good builders and good marketeers, right? So you need
Yeah,
to show as a leader that you have the ability to attract a good team. It's very hard to attract a good team and maintain that good team, and keep the good team around. So you need to show that as well.
definitely. Yeah, the space has become so competitive ever since NFTs went mainstream. There's another NFT marketplace every day that I'm seeing that's just pumping and it's just growing like crazy. So it definitely makes sense. So yeah, to make that list go to like in like a couple of pointers. I think the first thing, the most important thing, is that you need to have a real life use case. You need to have good founders, teammates. Your team needs to be like strong, kick ass. The third would be, what are your strategies, how your go-to-market strategies are. If the tech is good, if the marketing is good, everything else does make sense. Basically, those things, and of course, security and getting everything other
Yes.
things in place is
Oh
also
my
very
God,
important.
yes. Yes, thank
Yes,
you so
yes,
much.
yes, yes.
Security, again, priority one. We do have a bug bounty program and partnerships as well. We security is super important. I don't know why I forgot that. Thank you so much, Simran. But yeah, security is very, very important. Integrity. So ultimately, integrity. We look for integrity in people. Okay.
Integrity, yes, yes. Hardcore integrity and teammates. So that's what Binance Smart Chain is about.
Yes.
Ah,
Are there
crazy,
many
crazy.
questions? Are there many more
So,
questions?
so I'm not sure if you want to answer this question or we should skip it, but it's about,
Okay.
the investor committee that Binance Smart Chain set up. Do you want to
Okay.
answer about, who all we are
Sure.
planning to get in, or who
Sure.
all are a part of it already? Definitely, yeah. Go ahead.
Sure. Yeah, I can talk about that. So yeah, the investor committee or a VC alliance, if you will, venture capital alliance is very important, right? Because ultimately, when you are building something, you can start it with basically very little money, right, at home and stuff like that. At some point, and depending on what your product is, you might need to kickstart liquidity. You might need to basically raise external funding to kickstart an organic growth, maybe to fund the team, for example, right? So there are many different ways why you need to fundraise um, from external people, right? Not from your own pockets. So visas are a super important part of the ecosystem because generally, again, funding funds builders, funds technology development, which then creates a virtuous cycle where more value gets built, and then the whole industry kind of levels up together, and then you recycle the resources as well. So from the VC alliance perspective, we have several. I can't name all right now. I don't have all back in my head. By Hashkey, GSR, for example, they're great partners. We have several more as well. So these are people who have been really, really deep already in the investment space. They've done so much work, and we partner with them because they really firmly believe. Also, I hope at least in the BSC ecosystem, right? That's why they're partnering us, and the MVB space, for example, and we work with them to do everything. We have casual chats. We have a very open conversation, about good companies, good projects, good startups, and they're very involved in mentoring, right? So they do see the MVB winners, the monthly stars and MVB winners, where they spend the time to deep dive and do basically advisory, right? Where can you get again like 1 hour of like someone's time, like all these like really experienced investors to help you out with everything from your tokenomics to, I don't know, team building to product development, for example, right? So these are very important parts of the ecosystem, and VCs are a huge part of it.
Interesting. So, an impromptu question, that I just picked up from the comment section. It's really nice, and I think it's applicable to the both of us. So, I think we should definitely comment on that.
Okay.
Do you guys also plan to do something to empower more women in the space? Because right now it's very male dominated space. The entire STEM is like this. Everything is men dominated. But
It is.
yes,
It is.
yes, Gwen, do you have any plans?
That's a very, very, very good question because I spent my the last 16 years in the world of technology, and it's always been men. I haven't found personally any problems with that, honestly, but I know that there's a very singular experience. I cannot speak for all women. I know there's been a lot of unfortunate incidents in this space, felt by my friends, right, very close friends, and just a wider community, which is very unfortunate. So there is a huge divide. This is a very important topic because we want to empower all people, right? Women, men, whatever, however you identify, we're very open, whichever gender you identify or non-gender, right? Specific. So we really want to, at least this is my personal point of view, and I think we're very inclusive there, yeah. So in terms of that, we currently now, I would say that we currently do not have a specific program targeting women, but that's really, really good question from. Thank you for whoever who asked that. It's food for thought. Maybe we should, Simran. I don't know. Maybe we should. I think
Yes,
maybe.
we definitely should. You should have you guys have like 1 billion fund. Come on, Gwen, keep like some part aside because we go through so much as women. Like I personally have so many experiences in this space. where
Yeah.
I have built and I've helped exchanges and projects grow from 0 to 1, and people on my DMs are asking me if I know what NFT stands for. I'm just like, guys, come on, just because I'm a woman. But
Yeah.
yeah,
No.
I think, yeah, this is
Yeah. No.
definitely
So
something
it's
that women should
important. Yeah,
concentrate
it
on.
is an important topic, right? So, this is a very important topic where we can do several ways, right? So, personally, I can share. For example, I generally try to avoid um women and tech kind of focus events, and I'll tell you why. Because I don't want to identify as a woman first, right? I'm a person first. I just happen to be a woman in tech, right? But at the same time, I don't want to take away from the experience, the unique experiences of our of a woman in tech. And again, like I myself, a little bit of it, but also friends have experienced parts of it. So I do want to empower women as a whole. And I have spoken at many events. I have mentored many women, for example. The teams I built in the past, many of them were women. So it's something where I consciously try to help out individually. I've tried to, again, mentor not just individually, but as scale by speaking and giving some strategic advisory at events, because everyone and women, maybe especially maybe in this scene, we need role models. Right. So I'm not saying I'm a role model, right? But I think it's more like we all have a shared experience and we want to make sure that everyone feels included, right? So again, it's not just women, not just men, it's everyone feels included and have the same kind of level playing field, right? So they can engage more in the Web3 space together. And so we want to make this world really a comfortable one for everyone, right? So we want to encourage that. So that's a larger vision, a larger goal is that I want to encourage a more inclusive uh, Web3 world, a technology world, and a world, full stop, right? And to get there, there might be many different programs we want to do. This 1 billion growth fund, one example. This suggestion from this audience member and Simran, your enthusiasm is one example. There are many different ways in which we want to aim towards this more inclusive society. So the short answer is yes, we want to more inclusive society. Yes, for sure.
To add to that, I actually feel the crypto space is one of those spaces where it shouldn't really matter what gender you are and where you come from. There are developers and founders, billionaires, and with anonymous names just building. Nobody knows it's a she, him, whatever. It's just that people are building, and that's what we want to currently accelerate. That's where we are going. Just going behind whatever we have to, invest in. And I think that's what matters.
Actually, that's a great point, right? So you're right, right? In a Web3 world, it's so much more anonymous, right? So and
Yeah.
it's much more fair, right? Again, any single person with with a laptop, pretty much, right? You can engage and participate in this world again, super anonymously, right? And so yeah, you're absolutely right, Simran. It's not who you are physically on a real world anymore, right? It's kind of what you do. So that's important.
Interesting, interesting. Great, great. So our final question
Okay.
is basically what are the advantages of getting accelerated under BSC's 1 billion fund, and what do you think about metaverse as the coming trending topic in the crypto space?
Okay, there's two questions, Simran, right?
Yes, yes, yes. But it's like collaborated as one. I think there were like four questions and I made it into
Okay,
one.
okay, got it. Let
So,
me respond maybe two separately, yeah. So
separately, yeah,
advantages, right, of engaging with the fund, I guess. Okay. So yeah, advantages of engaging with the fund is several things. Incubation is one, right? So we really put a lot of effort to nurturing and helping out the largest steps, the ones in our portfolio with the strongest traction, because we really want to double down on what you're doing to really amplify your growth, you know. So that's one aspect of it. That means, including everything from marketing support for the BSE core team, and then again engaging the wider community. It also includes, like, BD support, where we want to help you engage and partner, more importantly, with other dapps who are doing maybe complementary things, or things that really could be your quote unquote what is it, client, right, but more like you help each other out. There's really benefits on both sides as a quote unquote partner. So we have a team that tries to encourage and kick off this ecosystem, and catalyze the partnerships amongst the dApps. And also in terms of the VC alliance is one thing. We've talked about it earlier, where we have amassed, and kind of gotten together um community leaders, people with a lot of again, different functional domains, subject matter experts to kind of mentor, for example, for MVB. So MVB is again a program that we are trying to find the next big debt, right? So you can get all those support from the BSC Growth Fund. Liquidity incentives is one important thing. So if you look clearly at the block, which I don't have on screen right now. But maybe, yeah. So Simran is, so for everyone, like everything's on their website. You can see below on the screen right now. You can click through to the liquidity incentives. So under the BSC Growth Fund, for example, if you are a BSC fund portfolio company, you have privileged, gas fee rebates as an example. So there are some aspects of it because, when you're a BSC fund portfolio company, it means that we've already done a lot of due diligence on you. We like your product. We like what you're doing. We think you're doing good things, onto great things, and we want to help again supercharge your growth. So there's a lot there, a lot of benefits in terms of what we offer. So second question, Simran, you talk about metaverses, right? Yes, okay. So
Yes.
metaverses, just now I kind of said already, like Metaphy is something that I'm really looking at. So again, socialify, gamify, but also again, underlying all of that, changing the paradigm is DeFi. So combining all of that, we call it Metaphy. And again, I really believe in how we will have two parallel lives. Again, the physical and then the online world. And a lot of this is fueled by Metaphy. And so this may mean, metaverses for sure. But again, what is a metaverse, right? So there are many different definitions of it. Can be everything from 3D virtual world to AR, and stuff like that, right? So we won't get into the exact definition here, but basically, if you zoom out, we really believe, and I really believe in how Metafy will change again how we live, work, play, right? So maybe now we're all doing online meetings at this point with video, no video. Maybe later on we see the 3D person in front of us, right? Or maybe it's everything just audio in the future. We have a mix of both, right? The beauty of this world is that we can have many ways of engagement, many ways of interacting with both your friends, your colleagues, your partners, anonymous friends, right? As well as the games that they were doing. And we believe there's a lot of possibilities here, and something I call improvisational abundance, where we can really improvise upon each other, where we really together, we you build one, I build one, we all build together, we build on top of each other, again using the term building on the shoulders of giants, in this case building on the shoulders of others, right? And maybe all of us are small giants, if you will, but together we really make this world way more rich. So that's the beauty of this.
Great, Gwen. I think we are done with the questions. We're just gonna ask the audience if they have anything else that they'd like to ask, say. We're gonna wait for a minute and just answer questions if there are any left.
Okay, sounds
So
good.
let's just give them a minute. But a lot of people are asking us to acknowledge the MVP winners. Do you want to just give them all a congratulations?
What does acknowledge mean?
They want to talk about it basically.
You
That's
want
what
me
I'm
to name everything? I don't think me to shill or something, or hopefully not.
No. Maybe just congratulate them. Maybe just say congratulations to MVP3 winners.
Well, congratulations to the MVP winners. So yeah, I mean that's in cheek, right? But really, the MVP winners is really no small feat being voted in, right? So I can name them. So we have a bunch across, everything from infrastructure to DeFi to GameFi. So congrats to the winners. We have, let me see. Okay, so we
Radio
have
Kaka. There's
what?
Radio Kaka. There's Radio Kaka. There's Dairy Protocol, MC Dex, Gelato,
We have Biconomy as well.
Tetin Arena, Bentley, Qubit Finance,
Yes,
D-Bank,
thank you, Simran.
and Do Crypto World. So yes, we acknowledge them. We have selected, the community has selected all of them. So it's just like a great thing.
Yeah, so I think what's important, we need to emphasize to everyone, right? This was community voting, right? So this
Yeah.
time, again, we believe in progressive decentralization. So, we've been, the core team has been kicking off a lot of things, but again, we really, really, really believe in the community being involved, right? So this time, if you saw the voting aspect of it, we had a bunch of industry leaders and players, including VCs, for example, vote these top 10 winners, right? So, like, I didn't have any plot to play in this, not at all. Do you know what I mean? So it's super interesting where it's we really want to make sure that you are choosing who is the top.
Which basically means that, if you don't like us, it's okay. If the community likes you, you're still gonna get funded.
Yeah,
Basically that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay. I think with that, when we come to the end of our today's session, are there like any last things you'd like to share?
No, it's quite funny. This question: do I get some part from the 1 billion fund for getting my question picked? The answer is no. I wish it were that easy. I really, really wish it were that easy. Come on, come on, come on. And if someone's asking, is there a giveaway? Simran, no,
No,
right?
guys. No, guys. This is just for information purposes.
Yeah, this is like a monthly update. We're trying to make sure that we're answering your questions because there are a lot. There's so much movement. So you will see a blog post going up soon in the next hour where you can see again more of the details of kind of what we've done over the last the last month. You can see details of the liquidity incentives that were put out. We've invested. We've granted quite a few projects, right? So we've granted, for example, MC Dairy Protocol. What else? Decentral Games and Woo Trade, for example, right? So all these four projects, gotten grants under the Liquidity Incentive Program, and again, for to summarize a little bit more, under the Builder Incubation Program, with sponsored hackathons, we sponsored the Gitcoin one, Chainlink one. We teamed up with Dora Hacks, for example, to do some stuff. We've done a lot. MVB again, the top 10 players is amazing. Congrats to everyone. And we've got a lot of incubation. So really we've done so much, and we love to, and again, so much, but also with the community, right? Because we've got so many GameFi Expos, DeFi Expos. Again, all of you are part of it. And so the blog post you see coming out in the next hour or so kind of summarizes everything, so you can really see the growth of what this 1 billion has enabled, essentially, right? So this 1 billion, to summarize again, is really meant to onboard the next 1 billion users, and it to get crypto mass adoption. To get there, however, is to really support all of you, support the talent that you are, right? To support your builders, marketers, whatever you have, whatever have you here in front of me listening to me, to build your debt, build whatever you're building, your product, right? To get it out, to not just get the Web3 people, the crypto people on board, but also at some point, bridge out and bridge the Web2 world, right? Again, bring our friends along, bring our siblings, our cousins, our parents along, right? So because all of you were in it, because we really believe in this technology and the Web3 paradigm. So yeah, so this 1 billion is really exciting because there's so much stuff going on, really all through several different pillars, again, several categories. So yeah, so look out for more from us, right? So every single month we'll do this. We definitely want questions from you, and we'll share more as we go along.
That was amazing. Thank you, Gwen. Thanks so much for today. And thank you, audience, for being so wonderful, asking amazing questions, sending amazing questions. We all love you, and we're looking forward to know more from you guys.
Thank you, Simran. Thank you, everyone. Again, enjoy your day or evening wherever you are. Okay. See you next
Thanks,
time.
everyone. Bye-bye. Bye,
Thank you.
Gwen.
See you. Bye.